There are certain moments in life that feel like crossing a finish line after years of crawling. And for me, that moment came when I parked my brand new Lotus Elmera in my driveway for the first time. Welcome to HOA Karen Chronicle. Comment which country you're watching from. Let's see how far this story goes. Imagine working late nights, eating ramen to save a few extra bucks, driving a beat up sedan that sounded like it was powered by dying squirrels, all while dreaming of one day holding the keys to something extraordinary. After 5 years of hustling, grinding, and resisting every temptation to blow my savings, I finally had it. A sleek, roaring, jaw dropping machine that turned heads the moment the engine purred. My buddy Jake sprinted out of his house the moment he heard the growl of my car, cheering like I had just won the Indy 500. We high fived like kids on Christmas morning, half circling the Almera like it was a rare artifact in a museum. For me, it wasn't just a car, it was freedom, achievement, and every ounce of self control finally paying off. But joy doesn't always sit well with everyone. Enter Rachel. Picture a woman who could turn sour milk into vinegar just by looking at it. She was an HOA board member, and the moment she laid eyes on my new ride, her face twisted into something between suspicion and envy. You could practically see her blood pressure rise as she glared from across the street, clutching her coffee like it was a weapon. Days passed, and Rachel made it her personal mission to circle my house like a vulture. She'd slow her SUV as she drove by, staring at the Almera as if the car itself had insulted her family. Then came the day she approached me. With her fake smile plastered on and that condescending tone HOA Karens are born with, she claimed my car was too noisy and disruptive to the peaceful atmosphere of the neighborhood. I almost laughed. I never drove recklessly, and there wasn't a single clause in the HOA handbook banning sports cars. Her words weren't about noise, they were about control. After shutting her down, I thought Rachel would crawl back into whatever HOA cave she came from, but I underestimated her thirst for petty drama. A few days later, there was a board meeting at her house. I didn't attend, but apparently Rachel was playing Queen of the Cul-de-sac, puffing her chest like she owned the whole neighborhood. On my way back home that evening, I noticed something that stopped me dead in my tracks. My beautiful Lotus Elmera, the pride of my last 5 years, wasn't sitting the way I left it. The rear glass was shattered like someone had gone full WWE with a steel chair. Both back tires were slashed to ribbons, the kind of job done by someone who Googled how to ruin a man's life in 10 seconds. And to make it worse, red paint screamed across the side. I warned you. My jaw hit the ground. This wasn't HOA nitpicking anymore. This was war. I sprinted inside, yanked up my Ring camera app, and there it was. The grainy footage might as well have been a crime show episode. Rachel, in a hoodie that did little to hide her Karen haircut, creeping up with a crowbar. She smashed, she slashed, and then she looked straight into the camera, gave me the middle finger, and walked away like she'd just won a gold medal in vandalism. For the record, in California, vandalism falls under Penal Code 594 PC, which clearly defines it as maliciously damaging someone else's property. Spoiler alert, that's a criminal offense, not just a HOA slap on the wrist. I wasn't about to let this slide. I called my attorney Paul, a no-nonsense guy with a voice like a courtroom hammer. We calculated the damages, and the numbers made my stomach churn. $3,500 for the rear glass, $1,200 for the tires, $6,000 for the custom paint job, $1,300 for labor, and another $2,000 in minor repairs. 12 grand total. Paul leaned back in his chair, smirked, and said, "We're going for blood, civil lawsuit, and criminal charges." The next HOA meeting rolled around, and I walked in with my secret weapon, the projector. When I hit play and Rachel's little crime spree lit up the wall, gasps filled the room. Rachel's face? Priceless. She stammered, denied it, called the footage fake, and had the audacity to say I was harassing her. Classic Karen. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. My attorney Paul, who had been sitting quietly in the back during that HOA meeting, finally stood up and cut through Rachel's nonsense like a samurai with a brand new blade. He laid out her charges with zero hesitation, citing California Penal Code 594 PC loud enough that even the neighbors in the last row gasped. Rachel tried to shout over him, but it was like watching a chihuahua bark at a bulldozer. 2 days later, the police cruised into the neighborhood. Sirens off, but lights flashing, they strolled straight to Rachel's house. From across the street, she locked eyes with me. For the first time, the smugness melted into raw panic. That look of fear was sweeter than the roar of my Lotus engine. She was cuffed on her own lawn, her garden gnomes staring at her like disappointed jurors, while neighbors peeked through blinds whispering like it was a live TV drama. Court day came faster than I expected. Rachel arrived wearing a wrinkled gray suit that looked like it had been yanked from a thrift store bargain bin, her forced smile twitching under the harsh fluorescent lights. I sat calmly with Paul, who had a binder so thick it looked like a cursed encyclopedia. When the judge entered, the room went silent. Paul presented everything: the video footage, the invoices, even expert testimony on the custom paint job. He broke down every dollar of the $12,000 repair bill with surgical precision: glass replacement, tires, paint, labor, and detailing. Rachel tried to spin it, claimed she was protecting the community from my car like it was some radioactive monster terrorizing the suburbs. The judge wasn't having it. His gavel cracked against the desk like thunder as he declared her guilty. Conviction for vandalism, restitution payments, probation, the works. Her face drained of all color. The smug grin she had flaunted for years wiped clean forever. In no time, I was back behind the wheel of my freshly repaired Lotus, cruising smoothly past her house. Every rev of the engine was a victory lap, a reminder that she had lost everything while I was untouchable. Rachel could only watch from her window, stewing in shame, her empire of arrogance reduced to ashes. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Have you had a similar encounter with a Karen HOA or anyone in the HOA board? Let us know in the comments.